Did you know that just 60 seconds can decide whether you'll walk again, speak again, or remember the names you love? Every year in the United States, more than 795,000 older adults face a stroke. Many write at home while pouring coffee or reading the morning paper. A hand weakens. Words twist. The world tilts for just a moment. And then everything seems fine again. But it isn't fine. Those tiny moments are your brain's cry for help, an urgent whisper saying, "Don't wait." In those first 3 minutes, you have more power than you think. No doctor beside you, no special tools in your hands. Just calm, awareness, and 7 simple actions that can protect your brain until help arrives. In this video, I'll guide you through each of those 7 life-saving steps, simple things that anyone can do in the first moments of a stroke. They don't require strength or special equipment, only awareness and composure. Each step gives your brain a little more time, a little more oxygen, and a greater chance to recover fully. And before we finish, I'll share one daily habit that helps the brain heal faster and reduces the chance of another stroke by nearly 30%. So stay with me, because what you learn in the next few minutes could one day save your life or the life of someone you love. If you're watching, please subscribe and turn on notifications for the Stroke series. If this helps, comment 9. If not, comment 0 so I can keep improving for you. Now, take a slow breath. Picture yourself sitting at your kitchen table tomorrow morning, sunlight touching your hands, the clock ticking softly in the background. You reach for your cup, but suddenly your fingers feel weaker than usual. Your thoughts stumble. The room seems to tilt for just a second. What you do in that exact moment matters more than anything else. You don't need panic. You need a plan. That's why in the next few minutes, we'll walk together through each of the 7 steps that protect your brain before help arrives. Each one is small, simple, and designed for real life, moments just like this. So let's begin with the first step, the one that starts where all recovery begins, your breath. Step 1. Control your breathing, the beginning of life. No one thinks breathing could save a life until the brain begins to run out of oxygen. When you feel dizzy or your words start to slip, stop whatever you're doing. Close your eyes for a second. Inhale gently through your nose for 4 counts. Hold that breath for 2. Then exhale slowly through your mouth for 6. This simple rhythm, 4, 2, 6, is what Dr. James teaches many of his senior patients in Florida. It may sound small, but it changes everything. By slowing your breath, your blood pressure steadies. The vessels in your brain relax, allowing blood to flow freely again. Panic tightens every muscle. Calmness does the opposite. When your body softens, your brain receives oxygen more easily, and your thinking clears almost instantly. Each breath becomes a bridge between fear and safety. Even if you can't speak clearly, you can still control your breath. This is your first defense, your quiet signal to the brain that help is on the way. If someone is near, let them know you're okay to breathe, but not to move much. Let's look at a real moment that proves how powerful this is. Case study. Mrs. Evelyn, 71, once felt her right hand go numb while reaching for her phone. Panic made her breathe too fast. The room spun. After learning the 4-2-6 method, she used it the next time. Her pulse slowed, her mind cleared, and she calmly dialed 911. Today, she still walks every morning, reminding others that one breath at a time truly matters. Your breath is not just air, it's command. It's the first message your body sends to survival. When you master it, You buy precious seconds for your brain to fight, and those seconds can become minutes, minutes that save your life. Now that your breathing is steady, your next step is awareness. Knowing when a stroke begins means knowing when to act. So let's move to the next essential action: how to mark the exact moment the first symptom appears. Step 2. Record the exact time. The clock in your home can become your silent doctor in a moment of crisis. When the first strange sign appears, a weak arm, a twisted word, a drifting thought, glance at the clock immediately. Say the time out loud: 3:18. It sounds simple, almost too small to matter, but those 2 words can shape every decision the doctors make when you reach the hospital. In fear, memory fades quickly. By speaking the time, you anchor it. That single act turns chaos into clarity. When paramedics ask, "When did it start?" you'll have the answer ready. This allows them to alert the hospital team and decide whether time-sensitive treatment, such as clot-dissolving medicine, is still safe to give. If you're not alone, calmly tell the person with you to write it down or send a quick message to a friend or family member. If you are alone, repeat it aloud until it sticks. Even whispering helps your brain store it. Because when minutes slip away unnoticed, so does the chance for recovery. Doctors measure stroke treatment in golden hours, and those hours start ticking the very moment your first symptom appears. For older adults, each minute of lost time equals millions of brain cells at risk. Knowing that exact time is the key that unlocks medical options which may otherwise be lost forever. Here's a story that shows just how powerful this habit can be. Case study: Mr. Robert, 76, was drinking his morning tea when his speech faltered. He glanced at the clock, 7:42, and said it out loud twice. When the ambulance arrived, he repeated the time clearly. That record allowed his doctors to give him life-saving medication within the safe window. Weeks later, he was walking his dog again, reading the newspaper, and grateful for a detail that took only seconds to remember. So, if you've never thought about it before, remember this moment. Practice saying the time out loud, because one day that habit might save your mind. If this makes sense to you, comment "time" below to keep it in memory. And now that you know when a stroke begins, let's learn the safest position to protect your brain while waiting for help to arrive. Step 3. Lie on your left side, head below the heart. Gravity can be your enemy, but in a stroke it can also be your greatest ally. When weakness creeps in or your balance slips, lower yourself gently to the floor or bed and lie on your left side. Place a folded blanket or pillow under your shoulder so your head rests about 4 inches lower than your heart. This small tilt allows blood to travel more easily upward, feeding oxygen to the brain without causing strain. Avoid lying flat on your back. In that position, mucus can pool in the throat, and breathing can become shallow, especially for older adults. Lying slightly to the side opens the airway and keeps your lungs working smoothly while circulation continues to reach your brain. If someone is nearby, ask them to help adjust your position. Tell them not to lift you suddenly. Slow and steady movements are safest. Once in place, close your eyes, breathe slowly, and let gravity do the work. This posture reduces pressure on the heart and gives your brain the best chance to stabilize before professionals arrive. Here's a real story that shows the power of positioning. Case study: a patient in Ohio felt his vision blur and hand weaken as he stood in his kitchen. His wife helped him lie on his left side, head slightly lower. By the time paramedics arrived, his color had improved, and he was conscious enough to describe his symptoms clearly. Doctors later confirmed that the position helped maintain blood flow to the injured area of his brain, and that early move likely spared him from permanent loss of speech. This isn't surrender. It's strategy. The body and gravity can work together if you guide them gently. So, remember this posture, and if it's safe, practice lying on your left side for 10 seconds now to feel the stability it brings. Your body knows how to protect itself when you listen. Next, we'll look at what to do if you cannot lie down. How sitting properly can also guard your brain in those crucial minutes. Step 4. Sit steady when you cannot lie down. Not every situation allows space to lie down, but there's still a safe way to protect your balance and your brain. If you're in a public place, on a bus, or standing in a kitchen with no room to stretch out, lower yourself carefully into a sitting position. Lean your back against a wall or a sturdy chair. Tuck your chin slightly toward your chest and keep your spine straight. This position helps blood flow upward to the brain and prevents dizziness from turning into a fall. Do not try to stand, walk, or reach for anything. Many stroke-related injuries come not from the stroke itself, but from the fall that follows. Bones are more fragile with age, and even a short drop can cause hip fractures or head trauma that complicates recovery. Sitting down is not a weakness, it is wisdom. Once seated, place both feet flat on the ground and rest your hands on your lap. If someone is nearby, ask them to stay close but not pull you suddenly. Your goal is stability, not movement. Focus on slow, even breathing. 4 seconds in, 2 seconds hold, 6 seconds out. That calm rhythm steadies your heart and keeps blood circulating gently through your body. Here's a story that reminds us how powerful this simple act can be. Case study: an elderly gentleman in Boston felt his right hand tremble while locking his front door. Instead of fighting it, he sat down on the porch steps, leaned back, and waited. A neighbor noticed him and called 911. Within 5 minutes, the ambulance arrived. Doctors said his decision to sit prevented a dangerous fall and allowed them to treat his stroke early. Weeks later, he was walking normally again. So the next time something feels off, don't try to prove strength by standing tall. Prove wisdom by sitting safely. Comment safe if you've ever reminded a loved one to do the same. Now that you know how to stay upright safely, let's explore how raising your legs slightly can help your heart and brain work together to restore circulation. Step 5. Raise your legs about 8 to 10 inches. A pillow can become the bridge that sends blood back to your heart. When you're already lying or sitting safely, take a soft item, a blanket, cushion, or folded towel, and lift both legs about 8 to 10 inches. That gentle elevation helps blood travel toward your chest, where the heart can pump it upward to the brain more effectively. It's a small move with a big impact, easing the workload on your heart and improving oxygen delivery to your most vital organ. Keep your knees relaxed and avoid tensing your muscles. Let gravity guide your blood flow. If you live with heart disease, pause if you feel pressure in your chest or shortness of breath. This technique is meant to support, not strain, your circulation. Once your legs are raised, you may notice a warm sensation moving through your body. That's the blood returning to where it's needed most. Elevating your legs also prevents blood from pooling in the lower limbs, a common issue for seniors who sit or stand for long periods. It helps your veins work efficiently and gives your heart a brief moment of relief during the crisis. Each heartbeat becomes steadier, more coordinated, and your brain receives a stronger, more consistent flow of oxygen. Here's a moment that shows how effective this can be. Case study: a 68-year-old man in Seattle felt sudden weakness while home alone. He remembered a tip from his doctor. He grabbed a small suitcase, slid it under his ankles, and stayed still. By the time paramedics arrived, his pulse was steady and his color had improved. Doctors later said that keeping his legs raised helped preserve brain function until treatment began. Your home already holds the tools you need to protect yourself: a pillow, a blanket, or even that suitcase under the bed. Think now about what could serve as your emergency cushion. Comment below if you've found something that works. Once your legs are supported and circulation is improving, the next step is just as critical: knowing how and when to reach for help without wasting a single breath. Step 6. Call 911 or signal for help immediately. A single minute of delay can cause millions of brain cells to stop working. Even if you start to feel better, never wait to see if the symptoms fade. Pick up the phone and call 911 or ask someone near you to call on your behalf. Time is life, and every second spent hesitating can close the window for treatment. If your speech becomes slurred or you can't form words, use what you can. Send a short, clear message: stroke, help, my address. Keep it saved in your phone so you can send it quickly, even with trembling hands. You can also use a medical alert device or voice assistant if one is nearby. Remember, emergency teams are trained to understand limited speech and short messages. They will find you. Dr. James always reminds his patients, when in doubt, call. One call may save your whole life. Never feel embarrassed or afraid of false alarms. Paramedics would rather arrive to find you safe than arrive too late. That call activates a chain of care. Dispatchers send help, hospitals prepare treatment, and time begins to work in your favor. Here's an example that shows how one call can change everything. Case study: an 80-year-old woman in Texas lost her voice mid-sentence. Unable to speak, she opened her phone and tapped the message she'd saved months before. Help me. Stroke. Her daughter received it and dialed 911 immediately. Within 6 minutes, paramedics were at her door. Doctors said that early message preserved her brain function. She recovered fully within weeks. Right now, take a moment to prepare. Open your contacts and save a new entry. 911, my emergency. That small step means you're never more than one touch away from help. Comment below once you've done it, and encourage a loved one to do the same. Now that help is on the way, your next task is just as vital: keeping your body still and calm while you wait, giving your brain every chance to heal. Step 7. Keep your body and mind still. When everything around you feels chaotic, you must become the calmest person in the room. After calling for help, resist the urge to move or speak too much. Every movement makes your heart beat faster and diverts oxygen away from your brain. Stillness is not surrender. It is strategy. Your body needs quiet to let blood flow stabilize while help is on its way. Relax your shoulders. Close your eyes. Imagine each breath carrying life back to your brain. Feel your chest rise and fall slowly, as if your body were floating on calm water. This gentle focus keeps your blood pressure steady and your mind centered. If someone is nearby, ask them to speak softly and only when necessary. Too much noise or excitement can increase confusion and stress your nervous system. The goal is to conserve every bit of energy and direct it toward healing. The quieter your surroundings, the more efficiently your body can recover. Here's a real example that shows the difference stillness can make. Case study. In California, one patient tried to stand to unlock the door for paramedics. He lost balance, fell, and entered a deep coma. Another patient, lying quietly in the same situation, remained conscious and alert. He was treated within minutes and fully recovered 3 days later. The only difference: one moved, the other stayed still. Stillness is a kind of courage, a decision to protect yourself by trusting your body. If you're watching this with family, take 10 seconds right now to practice lying still together. Feel how the body settles and the breath evens out. That's what you want to create during a real emergency. Peace in the middle of panic. Now that you know how to remain calm, let's explore one last, hopeful step. A daily habit that helps your brain recover faster and stay strong long after the crisis has passed. Step 8. Recovery. Tip: 30 minutes of morning light. There's a free medicine nature gives you every day. Morning sunlight. After a stroke, studies show that recovery can improve by 20 to 30% in people who spend at least 30 minutes outdoors under soft daylight. No pills, no machines, just the steady rhythm of your steps and the warmth of the sun on your skin. Morning light activates serotonin, a natural mood stabilizer that also boosts blood flow in the brain. It helps restore balance in the body, improves sleep at night, and supports memory function during the day. Dr. James calls this vitamin light, a daily dose of healing that every person over 60 should take. Even sitting on a porch or walking slowly around your yard is enough. Consistency is the key. Your brain thrives on patterns of calm repetition. You don't need to rush or count steps. Start with what feels comfortable. 10 minutes today, 15 tomorrow, 30 by the end of the week. As the sunlight touches your eyes and skin, it sends a signal deep into your brain. Wake up, repair, rebuild. That signal encourages blood vessels to stay flexible, supports oxygen flow, and helps damaged neurons find new connections. This gentle ritual also calms the mind. Many stroke survivors struggle with anxiety or fear of another episode. Morning light reduces those feelings naturally, allowing confidence and peace to return. It reminds you that recovery is not only physical, it's emotional too. Here's a real story that shows how powerful this habit can be. Case study. Mrs. Linda, 74, began walking outside each morning after a mild stroke. At first, she could only manage 5 minutes, resting often. Within 3 months, she was walking 30 minutes comfortably. Her strength returned, her sleep improved, and she even began keeping a daily journal again, something she thought she had lost forever. So promise yourself this: tomorrow morning, step outside, even for a few minutes. Feel the air, watch the light change, listen to the world waking up. That simple act tells your brain, I'm healing. If you're ready to try, comment sunlight below. Let me know you're choosing brightness over fear. Recovery doesn't end when the ambulance leaves. It begins each morning you greet the day. And now that you know how to heal, it's time to bring all these lessons together, to understand how every breath, every minute, and every beam of light protect your brain for years to come. You've just learned 7 steps and 1 golden habit that can protect your brain in the first 3 minutes of a stroke. They're not miracles. They're smart strategies born from awareness. Each one gives your body a chance to fight back when every second counts. Every day, Dr. James in the United States meets patients who survived because of one small action they remembered from a video like this. They sat down when they felt dizzy. They noted the time. They called 911 without hesitation. And today, they walk out of the hospital smiling, not in a wheelchair, but on their own 2 feet. These are not just stories. They are reminders that knowledge saves lives. Don't let this lesson fade once the screen goes dark. Share it with someone you love, a friend, a parent, a neighbor, because the next life saved might be theirs or yours. If this video helped you, comment 9 below so I know you're still with me, protecting your brain and your independence. And please like, share, and subscribe for more guidance from Dr. James in the Stroke series. Tomorrow morning, as you step outside and take that first deep breath, feel your heart beating steadily. Remember, you are not powerless. You are your brain's best protector, one mindful moment at a time.